Hey guys, happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're doing all right. I'm Monique Bradley.
Hello, and I'm Pete Ward.
Welcome to the Dog and Pony Show. This is our podcast talking about all things digital and virtual and everything that's happening right now and how we can help you if you want to grow your impact in the digital world. That's what we're here to do. So big topic today. We have had so many people contact us recently that they've got all sorts of things going on with their digital presence. So we're talking about cybersecurity today. We're talking about how potentially people are tracking what you look at and what you talk about. So a little bit about that. Is that right?
Absolutely, yep.
So, and what else have you got on the list that we're talking about today?
Communications and security is kind of how I would sum it up. So, you've got comms going out there at the moment through to all of your channels, and you've got security around everything that you are as a business or everything you do. So we just need to be very, very careful of that. So we've got a couple of things to go over and talk about.
We're going to share a few things that have really helped, some tools that have really helped our clients protect their identity, protect their websites, and keep things kind of congruent and together so that they have control. That's what it's all about today. As always, if you've got questions as we go through, please feel free to ask questions. We're more than happy to answer anything that might be going on with you, your website, your digital presence, your digital communication. That's what we're here to do. And if you've got any questions or you want to know more about what we do and how we help businesses and entrepreneurs and business people, you can head to our website, yourfixcommunications.com. Pete will flick that website up onto the screen. There you go. Pete Ward, Monique Bradley, yourfixcommunications.com. We have a raft of things that we help people with, from helping craft their messaging through to security, which is what we're talking about today, through to digital sales process, and even right down to presentation to camera and mentoring and so many things. Anyway, Pete, let's jump into it because it is just a quick chat today.
Yep.
First thing, we have had a number of businesses contact us in a state of crisis because they've worked with companies over the last few years that may own their digital presence, and this is happening everywhere. So if this is happening to you, it's not just you, it's everywhere. People understanding that they may not have control of their websites or everything. Do you want to dive into that a little bit more, Pete?
Yeah, so basically what's happened over the years is you get somebody in to work on your website and help out, and they set it up, and they basically end up with the administrator password, and you suddenly realise at some stage, or what happens when a crisis like this goes on, and you start wanting to find those passwords and log in and protect yourself, and you find that you don't actually have the password, and then you realise that somebody else actually might have logged into and set up your domain name for you, and suddenly your website is basically, in the eyes of the law, owned by that person. So it's extremely critical to keep all of these things in one place and look after them as a business. So what we're suggesting is don't dwell on the crazy, scary things out there and worry about being hacked. What you need to do is actually act proactively right now. And one of the things we use in our business, we've just gone through and set this up actually and we're working with some clients who use it as well.
Several clients actually.
Yep. So this is called the LastPass, LastPass. Okay. And so what this is, it basically keeps all of your passwords in one place. It's all encrypted, and you can start obviously on a free plan to get you going. So as you log into your websites, you can actually log out of everything all at once and start from scratch and log every single one in. And basically what it does is it stores your passwords for you in one place. You only ever need one master password, and that's the one you must never forget, because otherwise you'll be locked
never
out. Never share, never forget, lock it up, hide it. And basically using that one password, you can then set up all of your sites to be able to log into them and safely and securely, all from one place, which is really, really good. So basically they're saying this is the last password that you'll ever need, this last one, so the master. So very, very good. Totally encrypted, totally safe, totally worth doing, and it keeps you safe. And as you go through, even your Chrome browser, when it saves all your passwords, can still be gotten into various different ways. This is stored in the cloud totally encrypted.
And really safe.
And you're the only one get in.
Yeah.
What have we got?
What I really love about it too is that you can, if you have to share details with somebody else, you can actually share the information with them. You can move it from device to device. So, for example, if I can open up LastPass on the laptop, or I can open it up on, I've got a computer over here that you can't see, which is off screen, or I can actually connect to it on my phone. So it doesn't matter where I am. If I need a password for something in particular, I can access it from wherever. It is vitally important that you own all that information yourself. This is important if you have another company, say,
your
managing
communications, setting up your
website, or if you have somebody else who's managing your social media. It is really important that you know where all your passwords are, all in one file. I can't believe how over the last few years we normally have had files stored in the cloud with all of the current passwords for every client that we've worked with. We've got hundreds in there.
Yeah.
And even now, 5 or 6 years later, we will still get clients contacting us going, hey, do you know what my password is for this or for that? Even though we may have shared that with them a long time ago, or they shared it to us and they should still have access to it. It is vitally important that you know what your passwords are and that they are stored. They are stored somewhere secure, and LastPass is the place to do it. Have another look there. LastPass, you can do everything from your logins. See, it's got your credit card details in there if you need it. Everything that you might need, from your social media pages to your website, everything. This is, as Pete said, it's encrypted and it's totally secure. So if you've got multiple platforms that you're using, or you're dealing with third-party companies, say a company like us, set up LastPass and make sure everything is totally secure.
Yep, and even the free one will get you going, but you can pay for it, obviously, and if you pay for it, you can set up teams, you can set up, it's called Friends and Family, and you can set the passwords to be read-only for people you can share, so they can see it, but they can't edit it, which is a very good thing to do.
Yeah.
And then basically you can just literally, it's just as simple as going click and sharing it to those people, and then those people have to use LastPass with their own LastPass account and log in and accept the share, and then you can start using it. So it's a really good way to share your passwords with all of your providers, and you keep control of it and as you change the passwords, it literally updates right across your set of providers. They can log in and do things for you. Your email system, I mean, it takes...
absolutely.
Anything. I was just thinking off the top of my head, if you're using G Suite, just make sure you're sharing only the things you need to share with people. Like if you've got a support email or something that you need people to get in, unless you really, really, really have to, don't add administrators to your WordPress website, because any one of those administrators, if they go rogue or go off the grid, if they disappear out of your life somehow, your business life, and they just somebody.
Well, a lot of people end up closing up their companies.
Yeah.
So we've seen over the years, we've had to do. So how many times have we had to rescue sites because a website developer has changed businesses completely and is no longer doing website development, and all of a sudden we've had to come in and help out a company, and the current email address is wrong, or the password is wrong. We've had to do a full reset.
Yep.
I don't know how many times you've had to go on and rescue them.
A few. Like I can right off the top of my head, I know one particular one. I just basically had to rebuild their whole complete website from scratch on a new host, because nobody knew where it was hosted, nobody knew the password, nobody knew who set it up, nobody knew anything about it. Couldn't log into it, couldn't do anything. Tried getting in touch, traced the IP address to see whether we could figure out who was hosting it, got that far, but of course, unless you're the authorized person who set it up in the first place, they're not going to give out any details to you, so you literally lose your website, gone, you don't own it. So what we did is we basically just reset it up from scratch, and luckily we had the domain name login, so we could just point the domain name to the new server. So if you ever lose your domain name, password or administration rights or anything, you literally have lost your whole entire online business, because that's where it starts. It all starts with that. So make
and if
sure,
you think about it, how many times are you doing posts that drive people to your website?
Yep.
So all of those links out there in social media, if you lose your website, they're all broken links. And that's not good for your business reputation. So I just had to jump in there with that.
That's right.
Because I'm doing that for
Absolutely right.
clients all the time, sharing blogs, blog links, or driving social media straight to a website. So LastPass, there you go underneath, is the place that can store all that information for you securely. And it means you haven't written it down in a diary that you can lose. It means that if you lose your phone and you've stored all your passwords in there previously, you don't have to freak out. You can access those anywhere. And this is important too, because you don't want somebody stealing your identity. That's really important, your cyber identity. Because if somebody has access to your email address, as an example, and your password, they can do stuff with it, which takes us on to the next point.
It does
I
indeed.
saw it out of the corner of my eye. This
Yeah.
is something you guys need to know about. This was actually something Pete talked about at least a year ago, over a year ago. Have I been pwned? This is brilliant. Pete, you talk about it because you got such an incredible response from this.
Yes. Okay, so this is a website. We're going to pop over and have a look at it right now. Have I been pwned? Now, pwned came from back in the day. Somebody couldn't be bothered. Little script kiddies that used to get scripts off the internet and try to hack everyone and thought they were really, really cool. They changed the O to a P because it's right next to it on the keyboard, and it kind of took off. So being pwned is the same as being owned, but you're now being pwned. This website, this is amazing. So what it does is a database of all of the breaches. You can see down here what's going on. We've got some numbers there. We've got the latest number of breaches of online databases, recently added breaches. You've got all sorts of things. So Enemy Games account, Dueling Network accounts, Tornado accounts, MGM Resorts accounts, Adult Friend Finder accounts,
Wow.
Daily Objects accounts. So a lot of these things. MySpace accounts. There's still 359,420,698 MySpace accounts that have been hacked. So if you ever had a MySpace account, you've been hacked and put out there. So what people do is they take these hacked accounts, and you get various versions of them. Some of them have usernames and passwords. Some of them just have usernames. Some of them have your whole details, phone accounts, everything. So you can look through here and find it. But you've got there, see, 436 pwned websites at the moment. Hold on.
What is that?
That's
That's
trillion.
That's not billion.
Billion.
Billion?
9
billion. 553 million. Wow.
676,940 email accounts that have actually been hacked and are available to anyone who wants to go in and download them. So how it works, did you want to say something?
And can I, I did just want to say something. One of the sites that actually got hacked and released people's email contact details is a site that's used by a lot of people who do their own marketing, and that's a site called Canva. So that site was actually hacked in May, I think it was, of 2019. So if you have not changed your email address on Canva since 2019, please do. It's really important.
We're going to have a look at that, how that all works. So here we go.
So you just basically go to this website. You can see the URL, haveibeenpwned.com, and add in your email address and check out if somebody else has access to your email details. So yay.
Great.
Pete is brilliant.
Awesome. That's good.
Awesome.
And you can see there they also mention you can start using onepassword.com there. That's another one that's like LastPass that we talked about. Both of them are equally as good as far as I'm concerned. You should be doing something. You can see there, pretty sweet. Okay, right, let's try another one. Info. Oh, wah, wah, wah.
That's right. And you'll have a look there too. It should actually say which site.
We're going to go down and check it out. Rightio, breaches. So one breach, that's lucky, there's only one. You can see pwned on one breach site and no pastes. Now the pastes are important because what that is is they copy and paste of all of these details up onto various bulletin boards all around the internet, so for everyone to publicly search usernames. So yeah, Canva. In May 2019, the graphics tool website Canva suffered a data breach that implicated 137 million subscribers. Reposted data included email addresses, usernames, names, cities of residence, and passwords stored as a bcrypt hash for users not using social logins. So if you were using a Facebook login, it wasn't that one. These are just people who were using an email to log in.
Yep.
Even as a bcrypt hash, it's still not okay because people can run a bcrypt hash unencrypt program over them. It might take them a while. You'd be surprised how quickly they can actually unencrypt your password, and away you go. So it shows you what you should do. So you definitely, if you've used Canva and you have not changed it from May 2019, you must head in and do that. So you can see there the largest breaches. Shows you the different ones. What else is there? Latest breach, recently added ones.
Yeah, and I know, I think a year ago, even LinkedIn got hacked.
Absolutely.
And so if you, chances are if you've used a particular email address in LinkedIn and you put that into the Have I Been Pwned site, it will bring up that breach as well.
Actually, very good point.
It's really worth checking to see if your identity has been, or your login details have been used somewhere else. So that's the site, haveibeenpwned.com.
Yeah.
And it's really important to check. I would recommend after this stream, go and check any email addresses you have and see if they've been used somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's one to look out for. And something else that we wanted to talk about too is, because today, if you've just joined us, by the way, Monique Bradley here, Pete Ward there.
Pete Ward.
We are today talking about cybersecurity and things to be mindful of out there. So the first thing we talked about today was LastPass. It's a place where you can store all of your email addresses. A lot of people are now realizing as they're trying to log into different platforms that they don't actually know where their email address is or the details to get into their email account because they're working on a different computer. They're noticing that they want to be able to do updates to their own websites and they don't even have administrator login access to their own website. So it's really important to make sure you have all of your access details stored somewhere. This is one we recommend. It is brilliant. A lot of our clients are using it and it's really great. It means you can access it from wherever you need it rather than relying on it auto logged into your computer you might be using at work or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Second thing, have I been pwned? Check out where your identity is being used. And the third thing, we're talking a little bit about content today. Is that right, Pete?
Yeah, communication.
So, all right.
Communications, and what we're talking about here is obviously there's a crisis in the world at the moment that's going on. We know this is if you're watching this on demand, we're into April in 2020. In New Zealand here, 1st of April Fool's Day, funny enough. There's a big, obviously, issue with a particular medical emergency.
That we shall not name.
And we're not talking about it, we're not naming it here because the issue with the communications at the moment is that if you're on social media and you're using this particular name of this medical emergency in your posts or in your tags or on your website and sharing it, you risk the very, very, very big risk of being shut down by the bots in the big social media companies. For example, Facebook and YouTube are both banning accounts and blocking videos if you use that particular medical term in your titles or even talking about it. So a lot of we've heard
which is why we aren't
videos being blocked and shut down with the stuff in it. So Monique's going to actually talk about a real life example of this from one of our clients the other day.
Yeah, I've got a couple of examples actually. So one is that we have a client who I won't name, works in health, and talked about the fact that some of the essential services pertaining to health are now no longer seen as essential services. So it was a petition that's done online to be able to help people in this particular arena come back or be seen or recognised as an essential service. I believe it is. I think it's a wonderful support for the health system. However, because of that petition and because of the response to that petition, their social media pages were actually unpublished by the platforms. So they are using bots in their artificial intelligence, are scrolling everything we say and do online to basically decide whether your news is relevant or whether it's seen as fake news, and they are actually controlling what should be seen on social media. Remember, these social media platforms are not yours. You do not own them. Yes, you can share content and connect with people and share your opinion and have a voice, but you do not own them. They are owned by people who are far more powerful than any of us, and they have artificial intelligence in there that will control what's allowed to be shared, to be fair. They have international guidelines, and even though we're in New Zealand and we may have different guidelines around what can be said publicly compared to other countries, stuff is being taken down. So that's a prime example. Also in YouTube, as an example too, videos that are now addressing these particular topics. If you have these words and titles around this global situation, not only will video content, if you have previously had your video content monetized through advertising, not only will that be taken away from you, you are at risk of actually having your YouTube channel shut down.
Yep.
Just purely because the media, mainstream media, is being seen as the authority, not other people's opinions.
That's right. So basically, even though particular big companies like that claim that they are independent of the government, at the moment what's happening is everyone's banding together and going, you know what, we're going to follow the government rules, we're going to listen, we're going to obey the government, where previously they said, we're a private company, you can't tell us who we can censor and who we can ban. Unfortunately, due to this medical emergency that's bringing everyone together, there's an absolute call for all of these companies to toe the line. And they've said yes, they're going along with it. They're absolutely now under complete government control of what they can and can't put on there.
Yeah.
They've accepted that they can be told what to do. So just remember, everything you're seeing on there is either sanctioned by the government or they're looking to shut it down to only have the government sanction. I know that sounds very conspiracy.
It does sound a bit, doesn't it?
It's actually very easily to search that. They've basically made it very public that they are doing this type of cleansing of data that may or may not be the official line. So,
in fact, what I'd love to know is, what do you guys think about that? Is that taking away our freedom of speech? I know that's not what we're supposed to be talking about, but I'd love to know how you guys feel about this. I mean, are you seeing too much fake news? Are you tired of mainstream media? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you should be able to share your own opinion? Do you think it's fair that potentially content can be taken away? Do you think it's good that content should be taken away? We're very neutral about it. We have our own opinions that we keep to ourselves. But I would actually love to know your thoughts regarding that and around that whole security issue. I think it's really important that we open up that discussion. Now, finally, I'm Monique Bradley, by the way. Pete Ward, your Fixed Communications. Today we're talking about...
This is the Dog and Pony Show.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yep, it's our business podcast, Dog and Pony Show. Thanks for watching us.
Yeah, we are talking today about communication and cybersecurity as well. And one of the things that I did want to point out, so this is kind of point number 4, be mindful as well that social media platforms are about advertising. And they are there's algorithms in there that are designed to have a look at what you look at and what you engage with, and they are very intuitive, and they want to show you more of that content to keep you engaged, and they will also serve you more advertising around those topics of interest. But it's also really important to note that and I hate to be a conspiracy theory, but be mindful of what you talk about as well. So even just this week, I've had mentioned a couple of things. I've been chatting with Pete about a couple of things and to clients on the phone, and I have never once searched for these particular things, but I've started being served advertising. It's not the first time I've seen this happen, that I've talked about a topic and advertising's been served to me about that. This has been happening for at least a year. So just be really mindful of what you discuss. I know like I said, I know it sounds a bit conspiracy theory, but the internet and the algorithms behind social media is designed to give you what you're looking for or give you what you want. And it can be an incredibly helpful tool, but it's important to be mindful of those topics as well.
Absolutely. I just was reminded another example of what's going on with this is I do know somebody connected to them in LinkedIn, and they have a website. It's an entrepreneurial website, and they're starting to talk about how you can work through these troubled times. And Facebook has banned any posts from his personal blog being shared on his business page.
Wow.
So, and it's not even actually talking about the particular medical emergency. It's just talking about getting back on your feet and actually, being an entrepreneur and working out how you can. So it's not even. And the problem is it's a bot that's banned it. There's no people sitting in Facebook at the moment to do the personal review or the individual reviews.
Right.
They're not at work. They're not working from home. They've been put on leave. So you used to be able to get a review and go and you talk to an actual person or chat to an actual person. They'd look at it and go, oh yeah, no, sweet, yep, unblock you. A lot of ad accounts being blocked at the moment. Just randomly for no apparent reason, but violating guidelines.
Yeah,
but you don't
and
know
the bots are amazing. Let's be honest, they are amazing, but they can only work within the parameters of the guidelines that have been programmed into them. So if a bot is set up to look for posts that may say a particular string of words within one post, it's likely to be banned. It's the same with advertising, as we've experienced, Pete. You anything in the health and beauty arena, if you talk about you as a person, your ad won't go through.
You or your.
You or your. Like simple things, because in the guidelines around, say, Facebook, for example, you can't imply that anybody is less than fabulous. You have to, So there are so many things you need to be mindful of. So really keep an eye out on your cybersecurity. Keep an eye out on your identity. One thing that some people start doing is they grab photos of themselves and they put them into Google image search to see where their images may be used by other people for catfishing or all sorts of things. There's all sorts of things you can do to protect yourself right now.
There's I was just thinking about there was another thing that was going on with the ad accounts. Any work from home opportunities. So at the moment they are getting banned. If you are a person who is maybe in a network marketing company or anything like that, or have some kind of online course, be very, very careful about the way you talk about the opportunity, because it's seen if you're supplying a job which cannot be fulfilled. That's the way they're treating it at the moment. So you've got, hey, I've got a $97 online course and you can work from home and become a millionaire or whatever. Just be careful what you're saying, because Facebook's looking at that at the moment, saying that's a false job advertisement that cannot be fulfilled.
Yes.
Just be super careful around selling work from home opportunities. They'll just knock it on the head right now.
And the one thing you don't want, especially if you've got a historical account, like I have a Facebook page that has it's my own personal blog page. I've got over 6,000 followers on there. I'm protecting that as much as possible because that's part of my job, and you don't want these things taken away, especially if right now you can't ask for that decision to be reviewed. So be very mindful of what you say, be very mindful of what you share whether it's your passwords, your messaging, or what else did we talk about today? Or your identity.
Yep.
Just protect everything. The lockdown, I guess, is for everyone's physical safety, but also think of that in the cyber world as well. Protect yourself, protect your family. That's really important right now.
Yep. Let's just run a recap of what we're talking about today, just in case you've just hopped on there at the last minute. So we were talking about LastPass, which is a good place to put all of your passwords in one place, so you have control as a business over everything, all of your digital assets or presence.
Yep.
Okay, and then we were talking about haveibeenpwned.com. Check your email addresses to make sure that you haven't been listed in some hackers list of databases shared everywhere. And if you have, go and change your passwords immediately, and then update your LastPass. And then obviously communications and everything that we're talking about now with your online, just be careful with what you're talking about. And of course, if you wanted to get in touch with Monique, I happen to just have Monique's one there.
How convenient.
Just get in touch if you need to know anything more about what's going on.
Yeah, particularly with your social media presence and your content. If you want to run things past me, or you want to get in touch because you need a hand, you're not sure what to say when, that's really what I do with the business. Pete's your digital strategist here, so if you've got anything going on with your website or your technology, he is your cyber secure guy, but he can help you with everything else in the digital world.
Cool.
All right, time for us to go. Pete, thanks so much for those updates today.
Awesome.
It's really helpful. I'm going to go away and check all my email addresses again and make sure I haven't been pwned.
Definitely.
And I urge you guys to do the same. I'm Monique Bradley.
Okay, and I'm Pete Ward.
We'll see you guys next time. Take care.